Okay, students, so today lecture is fundamental forces of nature, or it is also called fundamental interaction. So what is the meaning of fundamental? Fundamental forces means the basic foundation forces in nature. हमारे नेचर को गवर्न करने के लिए कौन कौन सी फोर्सेस हैं हमारे पास टिल डेट. So these are called foundational forces or fundamental forces, or because they interact, these forces, they produce an interaction between the two bodies. So that's why they are called the fundamental interactive forces or fundamental interaction. So these are the basic forces, the foundational forces which produce the interaction between the two bodies. So that's why they are called the fundamental forces or fundamental forces of interaction. So one by one, let me discuss about these forces. So we have four forces in our nature. Might be possible that more than four forces may be there, but till now only the four forces are known to us. So चार forces के बारे में ही physicist पता लगा पाए हैं अभी, और fifth force के बारे में अभी बातें आ रही हैं, but I will not discuss कि fifth force क्या है. फिफ्थ फोर्स के बारे में भी विकिपीडिया पे लिटरेचर आ रखा है. सो बट मैं उसको डिस्कस नहीं करूंगा जब तक किसी एक वैल्यूएबल रिसोर्स से या फिर किसी जर्नल से, इंटरनेशनल जर्नल से वो फिफ्थ फोर्स के बारे में हमें कंफर्मेशन ना मिले, तो तब तक हम उसका कोई वीडियो नहीं करेंगे. सो फर्स्ट फोर्स इज द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, एंड इट वाज observed. It was observed, not any experimental evidence was done at that time, but it was observed by Isaac Newton in mid of 17th century in 1650. And the basic particles which do the interaction between the two bodies in gravitational force, they were graviton. And there is प्रॉब्लम विद द ग्रेविटॉन्स आल्सो. इट इज नॉट श्योर कि एक्चुअल में कोई ग्रेविटॉन होते हैं. अभी तक भी इसका कोई सॉलिड एक्सपेरिमेंटल मैथमेटिकल प्रूफ नहीं है. लेबोरेटरी में अभी इसको हम कोई प्रूव नहीं कर पाए कि कोई ग्रेविटॉन नाम का कोई पार्टिकल होता है. बट एक अजम्पशन है कि भाई ग्रेविटी है तो पार्टिकल होंगे, ग्रेविटॉन होंगे, है ना. तो ऐसा कुछ यहाँ पे नाम रखा गया है कि ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्सेस हैं तो वो ग्रेविटॉन के कारण होती होंगी. सो वी विल डिस्कस द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स एंड इट्स प्रॉपर्टीज इन डिटेल. सो यहाँ पे जस्ट एक ओवरव्यू है. सेकंड इज द इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्सेस. इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्सेस साफ साफ पता चल रहा है कि उसमें कहीं ना कहीं इलेक्ट्रिक कंपोनेंट है, कहीं ना कहीं मैग्नेटिक कंपोनेंट है, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं इलेक्ट्रिक फोर्सेस हैं, कहीं ना कहीं मैग्नेटिक फोर्सेस हैं, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड है, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है. सो ये फील्ड, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, है ना, इनका आपस में कोई ना कोई इंटरेक्शन है. इनके दोनों के या तो फील्ड के इंटरेक्शन से या फोर्स के इंटरेक्शन से कोई ना कोई फोर्स बनती है. सो कोलेक्टिवली दैट इज कॉल्ड द इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्स. और इसके ऊपर बहुत सारे फिजिसिस्ट ने, बहुत सारे साइंटिस्ट ने काम किया. सो ये शुरू में ओर्स्टेड ने 1820 में इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्स के बारे में हमें इंफॉर्मेशन दी. एंड देन in 1865 Maxwell did a lot of work on the proof of or the existence of electromagnetic forces. So he also published a paper, and in his publication he demonstrated that electric field and magnetic field, they can travel in space and they will move like a wave, and the speed of that wave, that will be the speed of light. So एक्चुअल में उसने एक थर्ड चीज को भी यहाँ पे जोड़ दिया. इलेक्ट्रिक कंपोनेंट तो थे, मैग्नेटिक कंपोनेंट तो थे, अब उसने इलेक्ट्रिक और मैग्नेटिक कंपोनेंट के साथ लाइट को भी जोड़ दिया, क्योंकि इन दोनों कंपोनेंट के म्यूचुअल इंटरेक्शन से उसको मिला एक वेव, और उसको वेव की जो स्पीड मिली वो स्पीड ऑफ लाइट मिली. तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि जो लाइट है वो भी इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फील्ड से कहीं ना कहीं जुड़ी हुई है. सो तीन चीजें यहाँ पे आ गई, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एंड लाइट. सो मैक्सवेल ने इसको मैथमेटिकली भी प्रूव किया कि इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एंड लाइट, हाउ दे आर रिलेटेड टू ईच अदर। अभी भी हमारे पास एक एक्सपेरिमेंटल प्रूफ की जरूरत थी, लेबोरेटरी में इसको इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव को प्रूव करना जरूरी था। सो इन 1880 हर्ट्ज was a very famous scientist of that time. So उसने लेबोरेटरी में एक एक्सपेरिमेंटल सेटअप लगाया और उस एक्सपेरिमेंटल सेटअप ने उसने पता लगाया कि उसने इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव को प्रोड्यूस ही नहीं किया, उसने इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव का डिटेक्शन का भी एक्सपेरिमेंटल सेटअप लगाया। और डिटेक्शन के अंदर उसने पता लगाया कि उसके पास अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन को वो डिटेक्ट कर पाया। सो फाइनली हमें ये पता चला कि इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव के अंदर जो इंटरैक्टिव पार्टिकल हैं वो बेसिकली फोटोन है। मैक्सवेल ने यहाँ पे लाइट के बारे में डिस्कस किया कि इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड दोनों के म्यूचुअल इंटरेक्शन से एक वेव निकलेगी, है ना, और वो वेव स्पीड ऑफ लाइट से ट्रेवल करेगी। सो फाइनली मैक्सवेल का जो कंक्लूजन था कि इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स हैं बेसिकली दे आर लाइट वेव्स, लाइट है, वो लाइट है। सो जिसमें इलेक्ट्रिक कंपोनेंट है, मैग्नेटिक कंपोनेंट है, तो उसने लाइट के बारे में डिस्कस किया। यही चीज हर्ट्ज ने डिस्कस की। हर्ट्ज ने जब डिटेक्शन किया अपने एक्सपेरिमेंटल सेटअप में इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स का, तो उसको अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन का डिटेक्शन मिला। सो बेसिकली दैट इज आल्सो लाइट। सो एक्चुअल में यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स में जो इंटरैक्टिव पार्टिकल्स हैं बेसिकली दे आर फोटॉन्स। So we will discuss about electromagnetic forces and their properties in detail. So now I will go to the third force, which is called the nuclear force. Nuclear force, it is further categorized into two parts. So अब यहाँ पे एक्चुअल में देखा जाए ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स, इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्स और न्यूक्लियर फोर्स, तीन फोर्सेस ही बनी, बट न्यूक्लियर फोर्स को फर्दर बाइफिकेट किया गया है, स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्स एंड वीक न्यूक्लियर फोर्सेस। तो ये पूरा हमारे पास जो फोर्सेस बनी है, फंडामेंटल फोर्सेस बनी है, वो चार फंडामेंटल फोर्सेस हमारे पास बनी है। सो स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्सेस वर डिस्कवर्ड बाय डेविड ग्रोस एंड फ्रैंक विल्ज़ैक इन 1973। और इसमें जो इंटरैक्टिव पार्टिकल है वो मीजोन्स हैं, और जो स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्सेस हैं वो न्यूक्लियर फोर्सेस हैं, मींस न्यूक्लियस के अंदर की फोर्सेस हैं। जो न्यूक्लियस के अंदर के पार्टिकल्स जिनको न्यूक्लियॉन्स बोलते हैं, प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन्स की पेयरिंग होगी, और उन प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन्स को कैसे मींस हाउ दे आर बाइंड टुगेदर। सो दे आर बाइंड टुगेदर बाय दीज mesons. वीक न्यूक्लियर फोर्स मींस जैसे ही कोई रेडियो एक्टिव एलिमेंट एमिशन करेगा, रेडियो एक्टिव एमिशन होगा, रेडियो एक्टिव डीके होगा, सो उसके अंदर कुछ न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन होगी। सो उस न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन के दौरान वो न्यूक्लियर पार्टिकल कैसे आपस में इंटरेक्ट करेंगे, सो दैट वाज डिस्कवर्ड in CERN lab in 1983. CERN is a very big lab, very big project on our planet. It is right now, in my knowledge, it is the biggest laboratory on our planet on which we are doing the experiment. Here it is also called a Large Hadron Collider, and here we study the collision between the protons. So protons, first they are accelerated to very high speed comparable to the speed of light, and then finally there is a head-to-head collision between the two protons. So when the protons head-to-head they collide, finally they disintegrate into their constituent particles, the fundamental particles, even which they make the protons. So they comes out with the enormous amount of energy. So we will discuss about all these forces in our next slide. So ultimately, we have four fundamental forces: gravitational force, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and electromagnetic force. So one by one, we will discuss all these forces. So before that, I have some questions for you. So first question is, which of the following are the fundamental forces of nature? Gravitational force, yes, it is fundamental. Strong force, yes, it is fundamental. Electromotive force, it is not fundamental. It is not fundamental. Why it is not fundamental? Because it depends upon any other physical quantity. The electromagnetic force that needs a source to produce electromagnetic force, that need a source to produce. और electromagnetic force में क्या होगा? They will drive the electron or they will drive the current in the circuit. So these are the electromotive force, EMF, electromotive force. They drive the electron, they drive the current in the circuit, and these are not called the fundamental forces because they depend upon any other physical quantity. They depend upon the source which is producing the electromagnetic force. But gravitational force, they are fundamental. Strong nuclear forces, they are fundamental. So both A and B. Second question, force plays the key role in the formation of galaxies. Finally, it's a very simple question and the answer is gravitational force. Strong nuclear force, that is the part of strong force, that is the part of nucleus. It is not the force which is making galaxies. Electromagnetic force, again, it is not making galaxies. Weak forces, again, it is not making galaxies. So gravitational force. Now, gravitational force are very important forces for us, and in our day-to-day life, we feel the gravitational forces. Every child, every person on this planet that feel the gravitational forces around the year, around the clock, every second, every moment. So that's why the gravitational forces, they are very important for us. The first of all, in mid 17th century, Isaac Newton observed, not experimented. He observed that something is falling towards the center of the earth, something is falling toward the surface of the earth. So it is said that he observed that apple is falling on the surface of earth. Why it is not moving towards moon and sun? Because moon is there, the sun is there, it is the noon time. So why it is not going towards the sun? And if it is the night time, why it is not going towards the moon? So because these are also present there, the big sun is there, the gravitational pull of the sun is there. So if the apple is falling, why it is not falling toward the sun? Why only it is falling towards the earth? The reason is not that the apple tree that was on the surface of earth, that's why it is falling. So from this, he got the idea that it is falling toward the earth. Definitely earth is attracting the apple. So definitely there is a force on apple. There is a force on everything present on the surface of earth. So he got the idea of gravitational forces that time. And the force, then finally, he mathematically, he find the force is equal to m into a, the mass of the apple, and the acceleration due to gravity. And the acceleration due to gravity, he calculated it is 9.8 meter per second scale on the surface of earth. But if we move above the surface of earth, then there are some changes. So the acceleration due to gravity, that changes from the surface of earth, and if we go toward the center of earth, again it changes. If we go above the surface of earth, it changes. But exactly on the surface of earth, the value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second scale. Gravitational force, it is the force which bind all the planets. It is the force which is binding the solar system. The solar system is getting the discipline through the gravitational forces. So these forces are called the binding forces. The moon is also binded to the earth, and all the 8 planets, including their moon, including their asteroids, including their other objects, they are binded in the solar system with the help of these binding forces, which is called the gravitational force. So how we will define the gravitational force? It is the force of mutual attraction. Attraction, the main point is the attraction. Here is no repulsion. The gravitational force, they cannot be repulsive. Only attractive forces between any two objects by virtue of their masses. So if the mass is there, if any object, big or small, they possesses mass, definitely they having the gravitational interactive forces. So it is a universal force, because mass is present everywhere in the universe. So the gravitational force is present everywhere in the universe. In particular, gravity governs the motion of moon and artificial satellite around the earth. So now the scientists, they are capable of launching the satellite into the earth orbit, and the satellite, the artificial satellite, they are revolving in the orbit, and they are controlled in those orbits by this particular force, which is called the gravitational force. If the gravitational force is not there, then it is not possible to control or to track the artificial satellites. So tracking of the satellite, that is also possible if gravity is there. Without gravity, tracking of the satellites, that becomes also very difficult. Motion of Earth and planet around the sun, again, it is due to the gravity. So there are lots of points, but I just go to the properties of the gravitational forces. So the first property I am going to share with you, gravitational force between two bodies form an action and reaction pair. That is, the force are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. It's a very easy to observe in our daily life. Let me take the example of book table system. Book is laying on the table, book is applying a force, actional force on the table. So equal and opposite reactional force is produced by the table on the book. So the gravitational force between any two objects, that will comes in pair. Gravitational force between two bodies is independent of the nature of the medium. So independent of the nature of medium, how we will state that? Suppose it is Earth and Moon system. If between Earth and Moon air is there, so many gases are there. So if the medium is changed, we introduce another gases, we introduce more and more water droplets, or it is raining, or anything is happening, the medium is changing between the Earth and Moon, then the gravitational force is not going to change. Means a Moon is not going to change its trajectory around the Earth. Moon is not going to move left and right, up and down. Not. It has a particular trajectory. So the medium that cannot change the gravitational force between the two bodies. So gravitational force is negligible in case of light bodies. So this again, it is observable in our daily life. Suppose my laptop is here, my mobile phone is here, and they are having a small gap between them. The gravitational force is there between them, but the gravitational force is so small, इतनी small force है, that is not observable. उसका कोई effect नहीं होगा कि मेरा लैपटॉप मोबाइल को अपनी तरफ अट्रैक्ट कर ले, ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं है. Because the force is there, but that is very minute force. But in case of big objects, the force is observable, like Earth Moon system and the whole planetary system, very easily observable. So bigger the object, it is very easy to observe the gravitational force. So it is the weakest force among all the forces, but has the longest range. Weakest force, very interesting and very important point. If it is the weakest force, then how the gravitational force of the Moon is withholding all the planets, all the 8 planets? So it is a question of discussion कि अगर इतनी वीक फोर्स है तो इतनी वीक फोर्स इतने बड़े बड़े ऑब्जेक्ट को कैसे विदहोल्ड करके रख सकती है स्पेस में. सो दैट इज अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ डिस्कशन. इट इज ए लॉन्ग रेंज फोर्स. ये कोई टॉपिक डिस्कशन का नहीं है. ऑलरेडी वी कैन सी बिकॉज sun is at a very far distance from our earth, and still the gravitational force is coming to the earth and to the other planets. So it is a long range force. It is a conservative force in nature, conservative force. So let me just give you the example of the conservative force. So let me take a position A and a position B. So if I want to move from A to B, if I move through this track and work done is a W1, and if I move through any other track, any other random track to the B, and the work done is W2 or W3 or W4, these are the work done. So while moving from A to B, so my work done, W1, W2, W3, W4, that will be equal work done. Same work I have to do while moving from A to B. So if while moving from A to B, if I am moving from A to B under the conservative forces, if the force acting on me, if the force acting on me is conservative, then it means I have to do equal amount of work while moving through any path. So gravitational force is a conservative force. If I move from A to B on the surface of Earth through this path, through this path, through this path, so I am moving under a conservative force. So I have to do the same amount of work. But actually, we feel that if I am moving to the longest route, we are doing the different work. But the gravitational force, they are doing some work on us. Not means force is force is doing some work on me when I am moving through this path, when I am moving through this path. So I choose any other path. So the work done by the force on me, that will remain the same. So that is the conservative force. But if the force is not conservative, then the work done by the conservative forces on me, they will be different if the force is non-conservative. So because this is not the topic of conservative and non-conservative forces, so we will discuss the when the topic of conservative and non-conservative force that will come, we will discuss that in detail. But right now we are studying the gravitational force. So that is the property of the gravitational force because they are conservative in nature. It is communicated through gravitons. I told you that gravitons are the particles जो दो बॉडीज के बीच में, मैसिव बॉडीज के बीच में इंटरेक्शन कराएंगे, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्सेस का एक्सचेंज कराएंगे. सो द बेसिक पार्टिकल इज ग्रेविटोन, बट अभी भी कंफर्म नहीं है कि ग्रेविटोन ही है. जस्ट ग्रेविटोन नाम रखा कि ग्रेविटी के कारण. इट इज मास डिपेंडेंट फोर्स है. ज्यादा जितना मास होगा बॉडीज का उतनी ज्यादा ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स होगी, जितना कम मास होगा उतनी कम ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स होगी. चार्ज इंडिपेंडेंट, चार्ज का तो कोई रोल ही नहीं है यहाँ पे. अर्थ के ऊपर चार्ज कितना है और उसके मून के ऊपर चार्ज कितना है, इसके ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं करेगा अर्थ मून सिस्टम का ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स. डिपेंड करेगा अर्थ का मास और मून का मास. तो चार्ज का यहाँ पे कोई रोल नहीं है. सम क्वेश्चंस. Gravitational force is, it is a force of attraction between the earth and any other body, right? It is a force of repulsion, no. It is strongest force, no. It is in short range, no. So the option is A. Which of the following is the property of gravitational force? It is the weakest force, yes. It has longest range, yes. It is mass dependent, yes. So सारे आंसर ठीक हैं, all. Which of the following has symmetry? एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी सिमेट्री नहीं है. मैंने बताया था पोल पे एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी अलग है और इक्वेटर पे अलग है, तो ये सिमेट्री नहीं है. सिमेट्री वही होती है जो हर जगह इक्वल वैल्यू रखे. लॉ ऑफ ग्रेविटेशन ये सारी जगह सेम है, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. कोई भी ग्रेविटेशन का लॉ है वो हर जगह एप्लीकेबल होगा. डू द एक्सपेरिमेंट ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ अर्थ, डू द एक्सपेरिमेंट एनीवेयर इन द यूनिवर्स, यू विल गेट द सेम रिजल्ट. So law of gravitation are symmetrical or they are universal also. So next is the electromagnetic force. I think let me check the time I have. So just start the electromagnetic force and let us see whether we are able to finish it or not today. So electromagnetic force is so what is electromagnetic force? So it is the force of attraction or repulsion between two electric charges or charged bodies are known as electromagnetic forces. ये ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्सेस की तरह नहीं है कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ अट्रैक्टिव होगी. ये ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्सेस की तरह नहीं है कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ मास पे डिपेंड करेगी. ये एक अलग तरह की फोर्स है जो ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स से बिल्कुल अलग तरह की फोर्स है. So let us go for the gravitational force. So you can see it is the force which bind the electron in an atom with the nucleus. Nucleus के अंदर atom के अंदर movement of electron and the binding of the electron with the nucleus, it is due to the electromagnetic forces. So पूरा अभी तक जो हमारा एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर है, उस एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर का पूरा जो एक्सप्लेनेशन है, चाहे तो बोहर मॉडल को लिया जाए, चाहे रदरफोर्ड मॉडल को लिया जाए, सो उसमें ऑर्बिटिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन है, ऑर्बिटिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन अराउंड द न्यूक्लियस, और मैक्सिमम पार्ट ऑफ द एटम इज एम्प्टी, द सेंट्रल पार्ट इज द मैसिव पार्ट है. तो ये यहाँ पे एक मिलता जुलता कॉम्बिनेशन है कि जैसे सन is controlling the movement of all the planets through the gravitational force. So यहाँ पे nucleus of the atom is controlling the movement or controlling the orbital motion of the electron by the electromagnetic force. So because nucleus is positively charged and electrons, they are negatively charged. So here positively charged nucleus is taking the control of the negative charged electrons through the electromagnetic forces. Now, what are the properties of electromagnetic forces? That is the part of discussion. So first property, it is both attractive as well as repulsive. So because in electromagnetic forces, we are dealing with charges, and when we are dealing with charges, so both the possibilities are there. The attraction may be there or repulsion may be there. It is a long range force and conservative, just like the gravitational force. Gravitational force is also long range force, and it is also long range force. It is 10 raised to the power 36 times stronger than the gravitational force. Gravitational force is 10 to the power 36 times the gravitational force. It is a strong force between टू चार्ज पार्टिकल्स. टू चार्ज पार्टिकल के बीच में ये एक स्ट्रॉन्ग फोर्स होगी. जैसे हमने दो चार्ज पार्टिकल्स को रखा, सपोज आई टेक one proton and one electron, I place them on the surface of earth. So if they are kept very close to each other, so definitely they will just attract each other. Gravitational force is also acting on them, but gravitational force that cannot take them towards the center of earth. So here the dominant force, the powerful force, is the electromagnetic force. It is 10 to the power 36 times the gravitational force. It acts through electric and magnetic fields, because in the already the electromagnetic forces, they are made up of electric and magnetic fields. So definitely the force will be there in the electric field, and force will be there in the magnetic field. It is mass independent force. That this force does not depend upon the mass, whether the object is big or whether the object is small. So that is not obeyed here. So according to quantum field theory, electromagnetic force between two charges is mediated by the exchange of photons. Now the question is that this was mathematically proved by the Maxwell, that photons are the particles which moves from positive charge to the negative charge. So due to the exchange of photons, there is an attraction between the charged particles, or there is a repulsion between the charged particles. So exchange of photons, that gives any attraction or any repulsion between the charged particles. This is called quantum field theory. So let us do some questions. Electromagnetic force it is a force of attraction between two charged bodies, force of repulsion between two charged bodies, both A and B. So both A and B, attraction is there, repulsion is there, both the things. The property of electromagnetic force, it acts through electric field, it acts through magnetic field, it is mass independent, all of the above. So that's all for today, and in my next lecture we will discuss the remaining fundamental properties, which is the strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. So students, that's all for today, and let me take the attendance. Adarsh, Ayush, Payal, Shefali.
Yes, sir.
Okay, only 4 students. So that's all for today.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.